that's actually going to turn into the seedling that will go external and look more active, be more the visible action. But I find our culture puts a lot of emphasis, and the spotlight shines a lot on the doing, the active, and it's topical to talk about, people are getting sick of hearing about hustle culture and, just crushing it, and this sort of, combative, even the language around sort of beating yourself to death to get action going. And I think a lot of people take that on as the standard of what it takes to be successful, what valuable activity looks like. And unfortunately, there's a time and a place for doing, but I find a lot of what's missing is the grounding and the quiet reflection that it takes to create action that comes from alignment, that is purposeful, that is mindful, that is coming from your own deep motivation and inspiration. Because without that, it's hard. We need balance. Like, we can't be awake for 7 days a week. Like, you need to sleep and be quiet and rest, and otherwise you can't function and do all these things that we think we should do. Yeah. And the activity in your business is also going to be quite difficult if there hasn't been a season or a time or a place to get grounded, reflect on what your needs are, what your values are, what deep inspiration has come to you that you feel nourished and supported and resourced to share, because it's this sort of internal outward energy, which feels very, very different than never having taken that time, panicking and yourself into something where you have to grasp for external resources to keep yourself going, to do the action, because you're copying somebody else's model of what you think you should be doing, or, and then that's where we get into those patterns of overworking, grinding ourselves down, and this very unsustainable level of activity that eventually, leads to burnout and resentment and all sorts of things. It's very hard to sustain from the outside in, outside in. That's when we start reaching for coffee or needing, sedatives and alcohol to sleep at night, where we need constantly to draw on other people's opinions and approval and resources. Like, if your energy is not coming at all from the inside out, you're just going to need to constantly reach for outside in to keep it going, because it's not rooted in something that's grounded and coming from that yin internal deep place that we all need to be sometimes.
Yeah.